Welcome back to our series of Moodle tutorials as we work to set up our Moodle courses. Previous tutorials have just taken you through editing your profile, changing your password, and setting some of the course options that are available to you for your course. This session will look at adding resources to your course, including uploading documents, linking to websites, and titling your topic blocks. You'll notice on my home page, I've chosen a topic format, and it doesn't matter here if you've chosen a topic format or a weekly format. Everything that I'm about to outline is going to apply here. Remember, you can get back into your administration, into your course settings, and toggle back and forth between that topic view and that weekly view. Try it out, experiment with it. You can always go back and change it if you don't like it. In order to start adding content to your topic blocks, you have to have your editing turned on. We'll do that with the button in the upper right-hand corner of the window. Notice that when you do so, it brings out some of the editing buttons. So let's start using them. Let's start first by adding a description to my first topic. I'm going to click on the little cog style icon to add a title. By default, the topic will be titled Topic 1. So you need to start purposely by unchecking the option to use that default name. You're going to remember to anyway because you can't click in that section name. So once you uncheck it, now we can type in a section name kind of as our title. I cannot talk and type at the same time, but apparently I proved that I couldn't type very well there either. Okay, so now what we can do is we also can give it a summary if you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and my Westward expansion. Remember from previous tutorials that you can toggle on all of the other toolbars, and now we can style this a little bit if we wanted to. We can make it bold, we can increase the size, and we can kind of go through changing the colors and all of that. So remember too that we might need to expand everything. Now, when you're retitling a topic, the only other option that's available is this option to restrict access. I'm not going to go into this. This actually is outlined in upcoming tutorials, but I think with just a quick glance here, you can kind of see what this is going to do. And it truly is going to restrict access until a certain time or until certain conditions are met. This is really kind of a cool feature of Moodle, and it's probably worth your while to play around with this, even if you don't advance to other tutorials to fully sit down and go through some of the options. So I'm just going to save this. And let's go back to my topic format up here, and you can see what this did. Westward expansion was my title, and here is my description. Okay, I don't like that much going on when really all I wanted was just a title of my topic. So I'm going to go back in, I'm going to edit this again, and because the summary is not red and it's not asterisked, I can take that summary, I can save my changes without it. Now I just have a title that just says Westward Expansion. To me, that's very visually much more friendly, and so I'm going to go that route. Now is a good time to start considering how you want your topics organized. So I think you can tell that by titling mine Westward Expansion, I'm going to start to organize by upcoming topics or unit of study. But in a similar way, you could organize by chapter or theme of upcoming chapters or themes in your classroom. But you also could organize block by block or hour by hour. So now your topics would be titled something like homeroom, first hour, advisory, sixth block, or something along those lines. This prevents you from having multiple Moodle courses, and you really only have the one course to manage, but you might find that you're posting similar content in the same block. I'm sorry, in different blocks. That may not be that bad of a thing, especially if you just have one course that you're trying to keep organized. But anyway, just something to think about before we move on too much further. But I do want to move on. I'm going to take a look at adding resources. And the first thing I want to show you is how to add a file. So if we go to add a resource and then down to file, as soon as that pops up, goodness, that was a little slow, but as soon as this pops up, you're going to notice kind of this view that we're becoming used to noticing here, the editing features of Moodle. So red and asterisk is going to indicate that this is required. So I'm going to call this, I'm going to call this the course syllabus. And I have to give it a description, but I don't have to display it. Notice down below the description box is an option for me to indicate if I want it displayed on the course page. Of course, if you do, again, you might want to expand the toggle the toolbars off and on, and you might want to format this a little bit differently. Yeah, I think you can see what that's going to do. I'm going to go ahead and expand everything while I'm here. And I'm going to keep scrolling down and figure out what else I need to do here. So we get down to the content area, and here's where you're going to upload your document. So I'm going to click on the little icon that looks like a little piece of paper with a plus sign, and that's how I'm going to add my files. Now, the very first time you go to upload a file into your Moodle course, you're purposely going to have to select where this file is coming from. I would say 90% of the time you're just going to upload a file. So I'm going to go ahead and click upload a file, and then it opens the options for browsing and navigating kind of on the other half of that window. So I'm going to go back into my westward expansion, and I am going to pull up, let's see, I think I named that syllabus, didn't I? Oh, well, you get the idea here. So I'm going to just, for the sake of my example, I'm going to upload this advanced organizer. So I'm going to select it and click open. Here's where it's listed. I can see it's really there. I'm going to click upload document. And once again, I very visually can see that I've purposely uploaded this document. Now, a couple of other options here. Under appearance, one of the things that I would recommend, but it's up to you, and you might play around with all of these 5 options to figure out what they each do, but I would recommend for a document that you force a download. And what this does is it requires kids to purposely save this before they start to edit it. So it's just kind of a good way for kids to open and do something with that document before they even start to edit it. Visible means that kids actually can see it, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit of a different location here coming up in just a couple minutes. And here again, you'll see that restricting of access. And again, it's very evident what it is that this is going to do. Might be kind of fun to play around with it. And then the idea around activity completion, this too is displayed in upcoming tutorials, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave this checked as students can manually mark the activity completed, and I'll show you what it does here in just a minute. Now I'm going to save this and return to the course, and what it's going to do is it's going to take me back to my home page, and I can see very plainly that I just uploaded my course syllabus. Now other documents I could have put in here would have been PowerPoints or Excel files or course notes, PDFs, anything like that. Okay, so that's what it is that you need to do for uploading a file. So the second thing I want to look at here real quick is uploading another resource, but it's going to be a website. And before we upload the website, I want to find one that's going to be good for my westward expansion unit. So I'm going to type in westward expansion into my Google search bar. Goodness. You know what? I want it to only be restricted to sites that are .gov, because probably these are going to, they're going to pull up things like the Library of Congress, the National Parks sites, and things like, I guess that's National Park Service, but you get the idea. So I'm going to go directly into the Library of Congress, and I'm going to look at this website. I'm hoping as soon as it loads, that it's going to have primary source documents, maybe even some primary source images and that sort of thing. So for the sake of my example, I'm going to take kind of this root level. Just before I even dig in too much further, I'm going to highlight and copy this web address, and I'm going to go back to my Moodle course. So with my Westward expansion link copied, I'm going to go to add a resource, and then I'm going to go down to URL. This is going to open a page that you're probably pretty used to seeing, or at least an overview of it. Red and asterisks, these are required, so I'm going to call this, oh my goodness, search resource. A mouthful, but you get the idea. And then likewise with the description, resource. Once again, I can check to have that displayed or not. This is required. It is a required entry, but it is not a required display. So something to keep in mind. And then I'm just going to paste my URL right in there. Now, one of the things about this, and I'm going to go ahead and select that I want to expand everything, because one of the things that I want to show you on here is the appearance option. And again, I'm going to make my recommendation. You can play around with these and see what you want to do. I'm going to recommend that you always open your resources in a pop-up. What this does is it lets kids close out of that window of the resource you just gave them without closing out of your Moodle. Right? So now they can go back, they can access the next resource, they can pull up the graphic organizer, the notes, whatever it is that you want to do there. So I would recommend in a pop-up, I'm just going to scroll to the bottom and save and return to my course. And now you're going to be able to see the website that the resource that I just put up along with the website. Notice that the icons are even a little bit different as well. So with these two resources posted, let's take a further look at editing options. So if you previewed the video about Moodle updates, you will remember that one of the big updates was that all of the editing features have been collapsed into one drop-down menu. And so now what this means is I can apply maybe all of these editing options to my one resource. So the edit settings just takes me back into where it was that I edited and uploaded, and probably more importantly, where that appearance is at. So if you've gone back and have played around with some of that and want to try out others, that's how you get back in to do that. The other things that this does, move to the right, will just indent this. So it's a way of starting to organize by hierarchy, maybe, some of the more important assignments or elements or that sort of thing. Hide will hide it from your kids. This is a way that you can start to upload documents or websites for upcoming units, and you can keep them hidden, and the kids will never know they're there until you're ready to use them. So let me just go ahead and apply that. Whoops. And then duplicate will do just that. It takes your document and duplicates it. Don't worry about assigning roles for right now. And of course, deleting will delete that back out of your course in general. So turning off your editing will take you back to a little bit more of a feature of a view that your students see. But the other thing I want to show you here is if you go into your administration tab and switch roles and switch to your student view, this is going to be the view that your kids are going to see. Now, I show you this because I purposely want you to notice that document that I had hidden from them really is hidden. And so this is kind of a nice way for you to go in and just kind of look at and see what it is that the kids really see from their perspective. So this kind of wraps up posting some resources into Moodle. This was kind of a long one, so if you made it this far, thank you. But what I want you to do is go ahead and I'm ending the video, stop for a while, start uploading some of the stuff that you need for your course. Your syllabus, graphic organizers, notes, websites, anything. And then take a minute and hide what it is that you know is coming up, but maybe is not quite as important or won't be used quite as soon as some of the other stuff. So anyway, good luck. Let me know if you have questions.